Live from a living room in parts unknown, it's Goner TV.
Good evening. Hey guys, we're coming to you live from a living room just because, I don't know, like switch it up every once in a while. And there have been some threats. So here we are moving around town, but we are still in Midtown Memphis because downtown sucks. And we like it here in Midtown. We're going to talk about the Goner shop and Goner Fest information coming up in the show. We've got some laughs, some videos. We've got a joke, at least one. And we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, especially because Goner Fest is approaching. It's in September. This
I heard the reason you were hiding. You really thought you had a plan. You meant to enter like a lion, but then you walked in like a lamb. Pick your fight and then pick it twice. Try again right before my eyes.
She told me she was only slightly stronger than the strongest man. I asked her, do you want to fight me? Because I didn't understand. Pick your fight and then pick it twice.
Pick the fight with a fist so kind. I was just looking for adventure. You meant to shake the hand of peace. I took a good look around, and then I watched your shaking knees. Pick your fight and then pick it twice. Never thought I was so unkind.
The 1970 Cincinnati Pop Festival is most widely remembered for the wild antics of Stooges frontman Iggy Pop, which culminated with a shirtless Iggy standing on top of the crowd smearing peanut butter all over his chest. The footage is accentuated by the narration of a befuddled TV broadcaster attempting to make sense of what was going on.
That's peanut butter.
The night featured another classic food-related rock and roll moment, with Alice Cooper attempting to hypnotize the crowd and getting a cream pie to the face for his efforts. Mountain, Grand Funk, Bob Seger, and Mott the Hoople were also part of the night's festivities. However, there was one band slotted to play who didn't, that neither of these moments would have happened without. The retail Simps were booked to play directly after the Stooges and Alice Cooper. However, Simps frontman Joe Chamandi upset members of both the Stooges and Alice Cooper entourage, refusing both bands access to the fridge full of alcohol. Worried they had the eyes on his clearly labeled dinner. Frustrated by his antics, Alice Cooper bass player Dennis Dunaway decided to prank the Simps, running out into the crowd during the Stooges set and handing Iggy their clearly labeled jar of peanut butter. While a furious Joe gave Iggy a piece of his mind backstage for not respecting the proper etiquette of a shared fridge, fellow Stooge Scott Ashton decided to up the prank ante, running into the crowd with the cream pie the Simps had also stashed in the fridge and slamming it into Alice's face, making an already upset Joe even more irate. Both bands tried to convince the Simps it was all done in good fun, however the band would have none of it, and stormed off without playing, being paid, and worst of all, with empty stomachs. After the commercial break, would there have been a Kokomo without the Butthole Surfers? Find out the answer to this question and more when we come back.
I still remember getting my first candy from my grandfather. It was Werther's Original, and I was 4. I'll never forget that first taste.
All right, you guys. That was the Retail Simps playing at Gonerfest 19, and that was in honor of their video that they sent in, their little, what do you call it, expose about the peanut butter incident with Iggy Pop in Cincinnati. And for those of you that don't know more about that, you're just going to have to Google it. Before that, we had the new Lewisburg video. Lewisburg also going to be at Gonerfest 20 this year. And, yeah, we got a full lineup. What's that? I thought somebody was whispering something. Okay. No, never mind. Now I'm just hearing voices. That's the kind of thing that happens here at Goner all the time. So, let's see. We're back. We did some videos. And we're going to have Cole come on. And Cole, he's a cashier at the store. Cole Wheeler, everybody. Cole, you want to come in and say hello? Cole is going to talk about some do's and don'ts for Gonerfest 20. And I don't know how he's going to do it, but let's pay attention.
You got it.
Bill, I prefer the title. Sales and acquisitions.
Sales and acquisitions.
But I'll take it. Hey, I'm Cole. Oh yeah, the camera's there. Hey, I'm Cole.
Is
Here's
clerk demeaning?
next segment. Is clerk a demeaning term? All right. I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of Gonerfest. There are a lot of things that should happen and should not happen, and this will help. I have to have the mic on me, don't I? Let's see here.
You got too many props, Cole.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, I don't. No, I want to hold it. The do's and don'ts of Gonerfest. Do enjoy Memphis. There's a lot that the city has to offer, and we have a program guide that can help you out with that. There are many places and locations and restaurants in that, and you can. We encourage you to explore the city. We know it's easy to kind of stick around a 2-mile radius, but please take advantage of our fine town. That being said, don't stay at the Motel 6. This is not a joke. Many Motel 6 veterans have officially retired from their tenure there, and I have had my own personal experiences at the Exxon there that involve this.
Were you propositioned?
I was propositioned at the gas station next to the Motel 6. Yes.
And that was bad for you. How?
Lab results. Do drink water. Okay, you got to drink water. It's actually very hot here, as many of you I'm sure know. But you have to drink water. There's a lot of beer to be had. That being said, don't start strong. Okay, we know you're all excited to get here on Thursday, and everyone's having a great time. Woo woo woo, and then come Friday, you don't get to see anything from the noon to 3 o'clock hour because you have had 1 hour of sleep. It's a marathon. It's not a race. Do band research. It is very exciting to see new bands live that you've never heard of, but also it is very enriching to study up a little bit or say, I've never heard of them. Maybe I'll check out them on Spotify or perhaps buy a record. So you should do that. It's a mistake that I've made many times in my life, not doing the research. Then that being said, don't forget set times. We try to run as tight of a ship as we can, and people will often miss a set. That kind of goes back to my aforementioned card of starting off strong. Do dress accordingly. Okay, wear clothing that is comfortable. We know you like your black T-shirts. Who doesn't? But it does get hot. You might need a ball cap or some comfortable shoes. There's a lot of rock and roll wear at Gonerfest, but you should probably consider comfort. Don't forget sunscreen. I've burned very easily, and it makes my rock and roll experience not fun. Do talk to people, make new friends, enjoy each other's company. I have made new friends from. We have Goner. Oh my goodness, this is news to me. Newsflash: Goner sunscreen will be available at Gonerfest 20. But yes, talk to people, make new friends, don't make new enemies, make new acquaintances. Gonerfest is like a big reunion, and it enriches my life, and it'll enrich yours. That being said, don't be a chucklehead. Don't be a chucklehead. If you have to YouTube what a social clue is, please do that. And read the room. When the crowd gets rowdy, don't be rowdier. Also understand boundaries and whatnot. Don't be a chucklehead. We have a really great crowd, by the way, and usually the venue is quite impressed with our crowd because you all behave so well. Do check in early. You can see me or other people to check in early. I'm usually out front of Goner on the Thursday, and on that Thursday you can also go to Central Station where a lot of bands and people will stay, and you can check in there as well. If you happen to come in on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Monday, you can still check in. But that being said, don't do it. Don't lose your wristband. Now, we're not sticklers for this, but it's a big year this year, and we do not have ample to give out. That being said, there are the staff of Rail Garden that might get confused as to why you don't have a wristband, even though you're sweaty and covered in beer and have clearly been there. You might have to deal with them. And we just want you to have your wristband. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. Do some rest. Find a place to sit and have a quiet time with yourself. Please. A lot of people don't do this. It is medicinal. Also, if you can even catch an hour in between your day and night somehow blurring together, please just try to get some rest. But that being said, don't miss the after shows. They are not affiliated with Goner, but they are Goner adjacent. Don't miss them. A lot of fun things happen there, and they start earlier now, so don't miss them. All right. Do save money. Why don't you do that? Save some money because there's a lot of merch, there's a lot of bands, and you're going to want it all. So have a little fund for merch at Goner Fest. Also, don't skip the shop. We try to stock according to our crowd, and we'll have a whole bunch of goodies for everybody that maybe you have seen or not seen, and we try to do our best with catering to you, the Goner Fest goer. And we're coming to a close. Do watch after each other. In the classic New York City subway saying, if you see something, say something. So if you recognize me or Alec or Sarah or Bill or Dane or Zach or Eric or any of us, please come let us know something weird's going on. Or the staff. Just keep an eye out for each other. And lastly, don't forget to rock. Please come have a good time. This is cities for you to let your hair down a little. A lot of people schedule their whole vacations around Goner Fest. So just don't forget to rock. And then that's all I have to say. There's a lot of things that I've missed, a lot of things that don't matter. What is this? What did you say? Come back. Hold on. Let me take the mic.
I got an announcement. The kids are playing Goner Fest.
What?
Oh, there you go.
They're playing Goner Fest.
All the way from Belgium, the classic kids are coming. Announced by a kid.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. I haven't heard
news, yes.
this good news in a long time.
Not since I heard about Goner, sunscreen. Which, to be clear, if you do not have sunscreen, just wave Cole over and he'll blow it all over you. So
that's called rock and roll. I'm out of here. Thanks so much for having me, Goner TV people.
yes, good information. Good information is had by all. And thanks for the information. And are we doing the joke now too, or are we gonna move on? No. Well, we got a joke. Oh, the joke's coming up after the video block. Let's get into some videos, and then we can we'll have a few laughs after that. We got a Coffin video coming up. This is Give Me a Bite. Coffin coming to Goner Fest in September. Here's a new video. You're watching Goner TV.
worry. I love you, I worry. I can't get you out of my mind.
I'm an American, so I always assumed I'd be famous. When it was clear I was no Thurston Moore or David Byrne, I figured I could at least be a crusty hybrid between Malcolm McLaren and David Geffen. And so, in an unlikely move for this black sheep in a family of 24-karat fleeces, I became an entrepreneur and started my own small record label. I ran Obnoxious Records with my girlfriend, whose album had come out as our third official release. Louise and the rest of Obnoxious had no clue about my devious parentage. When I moved to San Narciso, I lopped the heart off my infamous surname, synonymous as it is with money and evil, and went from Charles Grossheart to Chuck Gross. With the help of this punk pseudonym, I was able to keep things pretty separate, and figured my notorious bloodline would easily remain discreet from my true passion, my real life. But it turned out I lacked my dad's capitalist knack, and had to subsidize the label with the money his money made. I'll admit, I lied to Louise a little about our finances. She was under the impression that we had the support of an eccentric tech millionaire, not a sinister libertarian billionaire, / chairman and CEO of a vast multinational private corporation. But that we also more or less lived in the black. In fact, we'd lived out our entire run plunged deeply into the red, kept afloat only by paternal subsidy. Obnoxious was my baby, but it was a bastard my parents wouldn't recognize. For me to keep receiving his funds, my father annoyingly required some conventional employment, and my noisy vanity project didn't count. For about 3 years I managed to fake him out, but eventually he called my bluff. With a single phone call from his wealth manager, Renata, I was cut off. You have to understand, I had the Buddha's boyhood, spared any hint of suffering, save for the psychic cuts and scrapes inflicted by a self-obsessed father and a Teutonic nanny, along with the mild realization of my scarcity of talent. So I had no immune system with which to fight the little particles of woe that would inevitably find themselves inside my system. I hung up with Renata, packed a bowl, and prepared myself for a dark fortnight of the soul. I bought one of those seasonal affective disorder lamps, and it was May. I was determined to keep Obnoxious alive, but I was in desperate need of cash. I owed several audio engineers and one producer a lot of money, and a band was due an installment of their advance. Thanks to a handful of well-received releases, we were just about to rise from boutique status, slowly gaining a national reputation among people who cared about these kinds of things. But now Renata had sniffed out my unemployment status, all my plans would implode. I'd be penniless until I could find a job that met Dad's criteria. Cutting me off was a codependent ploy. For a year or so, I'd been laying the groundwork to someday really and truly break away from my famously evil family, and I think he or Renata might have caught wind of my vague plan. This way, he could snip the cords of the puny safety net I was fashioning for myself before it was strong enough to catch me. 3 days after Renata's devastating call, I was baking my face with antidepressant rays and stress-buying old 45s on eBay when Olivia called me out of the blue and asked if I'd be free to meet for lunch. It was the first I'd heard from her in years. We'd been close in college, and the two of us had planned to move from Boston to San Narciso together after graduation. She to get her PhD in bio-something, me to start my label in the city's flourishing punk and garage scene. She wound up moving here sooner than expected, taking a cue from Bill Gates' playbook and dropping out to birth her company. And it was understood that I'd follow her once I finished school. Instead, I backed out at the last minute and moved to Brooklyn. I came to San Narciso 3 years later, once the boom was really going and all my bridges in that borough were crispy. But I was too ashamed to reach out and spent 4 years avoiding her as my embarrassment racked up compound interest. Why'd I flaked? At the time, my excuse both to Olivia and myself was my then girlfriend, a bassist in a second-rate Flatbush dream pop band. But deep down, I knew that relationship wasn't going anywhere. I think it was Olivia's purpose, her righteous mission, that ultimately kept me from making the move. Sure, I had my own aspirations, but these were daydreams next to Olivia's saintly visions. I'll set my automatic cynicism aside for a moment and say that I considered her a friend, one of the closest I had. While I was accustomed to depressing my parents, I couldn't stand the idea of disappointing Olivia. When I moved west, I told myself, I'd get back in touch at some point, but couldn't bring myself to compose an email or dial her number. Rather than let it grow into something knotted and tangled, I preferred to clip our friendship into a tiny, stunted bonsai. Minutes after we booked it, I thought about weaseling out of our reunion. I didn't think I'd be able to sit through a report of her successes while my life dissolved. But even I could see the opportunity here. She had a company, and I needed a job. That was the beginning of the end for me. My first step down a path soggy with blood, not to mention the other human juices. Vomit, liquefied organs, incidental semen, and some of those symbolic medieval humors. Nervous sweat and piss, my own, excreted as I ran for my life. One that would eventually lead me here to this dark little box in the land of the dead.
Hey there. That was a reading from Sucker by Dan Hornsby. Dan was reading.
You got the wrong mic. You got it.
Now? Which one of these?
There you go.
This one? Okay. That was a reading from... Now what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? That was a reading from Sucker by Dan Hornsby. That book is available on the internet. He didn't tell me where they're stocking it, but it seems like they're stocking it in Minneapolis and in bookstores. That's where he was reading from, right? Minneapolis. Yeah, check it out. Sucker by Dan Hornsby. I'm sure you can find it. And try to find it at an independent bookstore like Burke's or Novel here in Memphis or in Minneapolis or Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland has independent bookstores too. We thank him for sending that in. Also, we had a video of Coffin. That was Gimme a Bite. And is that from their new album? They have a new album coming out. The Goner.
Australia Stops on Goner Records. It is out September 15th.
Yeah,
it's available for pre-order.
So September 15th, we'll have that in stock. And they'll be at Goner Fest shortly after that. Goner Fest is at the end of September. All right. Are we going to do the joke? You want to do the joke now? All right. Come on in and tell a joke, Arthur. Take this microphone and tell the joke into the camera. Sit down.
Why is the math book sad?
Why?
'Cause he had too many problems.
Yes. That was an excellent joke. Thank you very much. You have another joke? Nope, just the one today. Okay. That was Arthur's Joke Corner. Thanks, Arthur, for coming in. You can go away now. Thank you, Arthur. We're so desperate for footage. We want you to send in your band videos, related stuff. Also, now it looks like we're going to be accepting pet videos. So if you have any funny pet videos, because there aren't enough of those around these days, send them in. But I would like to see them. So send them in. We're going to try to do a pet section. Send us pictures of your pets, actually. Maybe we can do a montage of pets in the Goner sphere.
Yeah. You can DM us on the Goner TV Instagram account, which is at Goner TV. You can also email us, right, Eric?
Yes.
At gonertv@gmail.com. So do that. Send us
do
your
that.
music videos. Send us your funny pet videos.
Yeah, we're interested in that stuff. I was only joking because the internet does seem to have a lot of pet videos on it. But I can never stop looking at them. So, like a cat discovering a snake or something, those kind of things are very funny. Now, is that the end of the show too, huh? Yeah. We really got this one in under the wire. We really got this right under schedule. Ooh, my hand does funny things like that. Look at that. All right. Well, I guess we have nothing but to say. Our next broadcast will be in August. Hopefully we'll have Arthur back for another joke. We'll have some more fun videos from bands. Hopefully you'll send us your pet videos. Send us a postcard if you want to at the shop, 2152 Young Avenue. We'll be there, and you can come down and check out records. And we won't have a broadcast in September. Why? Because that's Goner Fest time, right? We'll have a live show here in Memphis. I'll be hosting the Thursday night if you want to throw things. And I don't know. What else? Any other information you want to share over there? No? Anybody got anything? I guess we got a lot. We have a lot of records at the store right now, actually. Well, especially if you're a Kinks fan, you might want to come down and check out some of the wares, because we've had some Kinks records go up. Yeah, so come on down to the store this weekend. We'll be around, and have a good time, and we'll see you next month on Goner Television.
Took the staple out from the packaged road, slung up down the aisle, the other to piles, rung up to embroil. Latch the pillows now to the telephone while I wrap the eye in shimmering files, expanding what I know. Vested to the surface, now the drape is gonna have to fold. I'm just breaking away from the hole, no more tightening up the tangles. Drops of paper now scrunched into the drawer while I look to the ground for the fledging frown on the concrete note. Time to tamper down.